I've had a lot of requests on my Instagram and on my Facebook, people asking how I cloned myself in the music video I shot for Can You Hear Me Now? You need a tripod, you need a camera. You set your camera on a tripod and then you just shoot yourself individually. So I started with playing drums in the middle, and then you just let that camera shoot, and then I went to guitar, I played guitar, and then after that I went to play bass. And then you take all three clips and you pop it into a video editing software, Final Cut or Adobe Premiere. You stack it on top of each other, and then you just crop all the individual sections so that they stitch together. And this is how I did it. So if you look here, this is the final edit that I did. I started with drums. This is how that looks like. I'm by myself. It was very lonely. This is me playing guitar. And then bass guitar. Okay, so those are the three clips that I shot on a tripod. You should do a version of your song with a click track so that you can line it up in your editing software nicely. So here's what mine sounds like. So that 4 count is what lines everything up. Okay, so I drag drums. Okay, there's my drums. And then now I'm going to drag the guitar clip. Again, I'm just turning off sound for now. And then as you can see, the guitar clip covered my drums, but that's okay because we're going to cut that out. And then bass. I love bass, by the way. In another life, I think I was a bass player. Okay, so let's mask it out or cut it out. So a little bit of history is back in the days before Photoshop, and like in the 40s and 30s at newspapers, they actually had to use masking tape or a piece of paper to cover parts in the editorial or advertisement section. So they actually physically masked it. That carried over into software, so that's why they call it masking, but it's basically cutting it out, cropping it out, or hiding something. That's what masking is. So on this bass guitar, you can also do that with video. So I'm going to put a mask on that guy, okay? And I'm going to draw that mask, or I'm going to cut myself out. Here we go. And then the guitar appeared. Sweet. And now I'm going to go to the guitar, and I'm going to cut the guitar this way so that the drums will appear. Okay, so I'm going to put a mask on my guitar, and I'm going to cut myself out. And there we go. And as you can see, do you see the line here, the divisions? So that's actually nice because you can see the cutouts. So in order to make that seamless, you can what they call feather it or blend it to make it look like the same shot. So I'm going to bump up the feather, and then I'm going to bump up the feather to the base clip. And then when we turn off the guidelines, it's better. And to go even further, what I did was I adjusted the mask. Let's say for bass guitar, let's show the mask. So I'm not tall, so I'm not going to take up the space. So why don't we bring down that mask here so that the sky of the drum clip shows, so it doesn't look fake. And then when we do that, it looks way better. See that? And then let's do the same for the guitar. So let's look at the mask. For a guitar, let's just use the drum clip. There you go. It's literally that simple. Each instrument, I played it 5 times. I went to the drums, and then I went to the bass guitar. You have to do it fast because the sun is rising, and then every few minutes, your shadows are getting longer. So if you wait too long, by the time you get to your other instrument, the shadow is going to be long. So always keep that in mind because your lighting conditions are changing. If you do this indoors, totally easy because that's not going to change. You just make sure not to cross frames. Here is the final version. And you can see here in the beginning, I'm crossing frames. So this is how it looks like. Kind of cool, actually. Okay, each angle took 15 takes. So I did 4 angles of the full band shot. So that's 45 times I played the song at 3 minutes and 25 seconds. That's 2.4 hours at 110 degrees outside just of playing each instrument. So that's like 2 Life is Beautifuls, on every instrument. So take breaks, and if you're going to do this outdoors, make sure you have water, because I didn't have enough water and I almost died. I also did a rear angle. Here's the drums for the rear portion. And then guitar. So I didn't end up using this because I left the ND filter that I had on my camera. It was too dark. Again, this footage sucks that I couldn't use it. So that's angle number 2. And then on my GoPro, I shot this guy. So this is okay, and now let me show you the individual slots, drums on the GoPro. Guitar on the GoPro. Bass on the, on the GoPro. Okay, and then the 4th angle I did for full band is the side. And this is actually cool that I'm showing this. I didn't use this, but this is why you can't cross frame. So look at me playing bass. Everything looks good. When you're doing this by yourself, you have to memorize where you're at because you don't have multiple cameras. So in the bridge of the song, I had to tell myself okay, on the bridge, you're going to sing backups. And then when I was on guitar, this is the bridge. Make sure that you turn to your amp so that you have feedback. So you have to coordinate stuff like that in your head. And I actually did a full storyboard that I won't show you because it's boring. Check this out. So you can even see here how that's not lined up. So how I would fix that is I would make that clip bigger and bump it up, but I'm not going to do that now. My drone melted, by the way, because it was so hot. Okay, so there's my car. I ran extension cord all the way here. I had a self-powered monitor. When you're playing drums, I like it loud because I like to feel it. So I was doing playback that way. This lake bed, it's in Arizona. It's called Tank Lake. It's 8 miles wide and 10 miles long. It was used for target practice in the 1940s for World War II. It was near the site where they were testing for the H-bomb. It has a lot of history, but there's no one there, and I swear I saw a bunch of aliens there. It was kind of scary. I'm just doing this whole 360 art thing because of Shelter in Place, and it's kind of nice because I've always done art for other bands. All the bands I've been in, Metro Station, Parade of Lights, On the Speakers, you name it. It's cool to actually do everything myself, and I'm still learning. I'm not an expert at anything, even music production, mixing and mastering. I've been on the other side of it, being an artist now, doing everything. I have mad respect for all the people and producers and writers, mixers, mastering engineers that we've worked with because it's fucking hard. Okay, see you soon. Bye.